If you're almost to settlement and you're wondering about your final walkthrough, well, you've come to the right place, because that's what we're talking about today, and we are starting right now. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Harry Moore and I'm a full-time veteran real estate agent in the Washington, D.C. metro area. And I post new videos every week about all things real estate in the DMV. So let's go ahead and get into the final walkthrough tips. Well, what is a final walkthrough? It's usually the last step in the home buying process before settlement. And it normally happens 1 to 2 days before you settle on your new home. Sometimes people do it the day of settlement, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. The final walkthrough is your opportunity to confirm that the property is in substantially the same condition as of the date of the home inspection, if you had an inspection. Before we go any further, if you negotiated a post-settlement occupancy, so the sellers will be in the house for a period of time after settlement, then there's a whole different process. Normally, you'll have a pre-settlement walkthrough and then a post-settlement walkthrough after the sellers have moved out. But let's get back to the final walkthrough scenario. The primary purpose of the walkthrough is to determine if the sellers have vacated the property and if they've left it broom clean and free of trash and debris, as the contract requires. If you negotiated a bunch of repairs as part of the home inspection, you may want to consider having your home inspector go back with you to check them. Part of that depends on how many repairs there were and what the nature of the repairs are. If you negotiated a closing cost credit in lieu of repairs, well, then obviously you wouldn't need to do that. Something that you want to look for during the walkthrough is what I call leftovers. Sometimes people are in a hurry when they move out. They may not have actually started packing until the contingencies were cleared, and so they might have only had a couple of weeks to prepare. I found all kinds of things that sellers have left behind. Appliances, flatware, frame pictures, even boxes of clothes. Sometimes they even leave food in the fridge. So it's good to bring a trash bag just in case they've left food. You wouldn't want to have that stuff sitting around for too long. Moving is hard and stressful, and sometimes people miss things. I like to try and be conscious of that when we walk in the door. Technically, sellers only have to deliver the property broom clean, but I always suggest to my sellers that they have the property professionally cleaned after they're out. It really makes the buyer happy to feel like they're spending all that money and getting something that's really clean. This is an extreme example, but I once had a buyer get really angry at the walkthrough because the sellers hadn't cleaned the lint filter out in the dryer. Was that reasonable? No. But there's a lot of emotion on the buyer's side when they're doing the walkthrough. They probably haven't seen the house for weeks and they're getting ready to go and commit to a huge purchase. A little TLC on the seller's side can go a long way towards diffusing potential issues. Here's something else that I talk to my buyers about. I call it the naked house syndrome. In my experience, most people look a lot better when they're all dressed up for a party. And the same is true of houses. When the buyer last saw the house, it was probably still in showing condition and may have been staged. So it was looking its best. At the walkthrough, the house is au naturel. So all the blemishes are right out there for everyone to see. Little nicks and dings, the things that just happen in houses, aren't hidden by all the nice furniture, rugs, and art on the walls. So be prepared for that. Another thing to think about is hazardous waste. No, I'm not talking about 50-gallon drums of toxins, but mostly about cans of paint. Technically, those cannot be put in the regular trash and have to be taken somewhere to dispose of them. If the house was freshly painted and you're going to keep the color, well, then a little bit of extra paint can be a bonus. But if there are 20 or 30 years of paint cans stashed away, well, maybe not. One way to avoid that is if you see lots of cans of paint when you go to look at the house before you write the offer, you could consider including a requirement that they be removed in the contract. That, of course, depends on the dynamics of the offer, but it's something you may want to discuss with your agent. Sometimes people leave other items behind, like motor oil and cleaning supplies. If they're moving out of state, it's probably because the movers won't take those items on their trucks. So that's something to keep in the back of your mind as well. Oh, I almost forgot. One last thing, when to do the walkthrough. As I said before, if you've got a lot of complex repairs to inspect, then you may want to do it a couple of days before and possibly have your home inspector attend. They'll charge you for that, but if it gives you peace of mind, then it may be money well spent. If it was just a credit in lieu of repairs and the house was empty when you did the home inspection, well, then maybe the day before or even the day of. There's a lot less to worry about because you've already seen the house without its clothes on, and you might be okay with doing it the day of settlement. There you go. Some tips to help you be prepared for your walkthrough inspection. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you liked what you saw, please tap that like button. And if you know someone, maybe a friend or neighbor, who might benefit from this information, please share this video with them. Last but not least, if you want to see more videos about real estate in the DMV, then subscribe and ring that bell so you'll be updated whenever new videos come out. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.